He said, "You don't deserve access to me. I'm disappearing for a few days." I replied, "Disappear longer." While he was gone, I packed every gift I ever bought him and shipped it to his parents' house. When he messaged, "Did you miss me?" I sent him the tracking number. Right before another notification arrived that wasn't from him. My name is Megan. I'm 34, and until last week, I thought I understood my relationship. My boyfriend and I had been together for 2.5 years. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party, started dating a month later, moved in together after a year. Everything seemed normal, good even. Or at least that's what I told myself while ignoring all the small red flags that kept piling up. The disappearing thing started about 6 months ago. He'd get upset about something, usually something minor, like me not responding to a text fast enough or forgetting to pick up something from the store. And he'd announce he needed space. Not just a few hours, days. He'd turn off his location sharing, stop responding to messages, and basically vanish. Then he'd come back acting like nothing happened, expecting me to just be grateful he'd returned. The first time it happened, I was worried sick. I called his friends, his family, drove around looking for his car. Turned out he'd been at a hotel downtown the whole time, processing his feelings. I was relieved he was safe, but also confused about why he couldn't just tell me he needed space instead of making me think something terrible had happened. The second time, I was less worried and more annoyed. The third time, I started seeing the pattern. This was his power move, his way of punishing me and reminding me that he could leave whenever he wanted, that I should be grateful for his presence. Last Tuesday night, we had an argument. Nothing major. I'd made plans with my friends for the weekend without checking with him first. He got upset, said I was prioritizing them over him, that I clearly didn't value our relationship. "I see them maybe once a month," I said, trying to stay calm. "You see your friends multiple times a week." "That's different." "How is it different?" "Because my friends are important to me." "So mine aren't important to me?" "That's not what I said." "God, you're so defensive." "I'm defensive because you're upset about something that isn't a problem. I'm allowed to have friends. I'm allowed to make plans." He stood up from the couch, grabbed his phone and keys. "You know what? I can't do this right now." "Can't do what?" "This, you, any of it. You don't deserve access to me when you're acting like this." "Acting like what? I am literally just trying to have a conversation." "No, you're being dismissive and disrespectful. I'm disappearing for a few days. Don't try to contact me." I looked at him standing there with his jacket half on, phone in hand, that familiar expression on his face, the one that said he was waiting for me to beg him to stay, to apologize for something I didn't do wrong, to validate his manufactured crisis. Something in me just snapped, not in an angry way, more like a switch flipping, a clarity settling in. "Disappear longer," I said quietly. He froze. "What?" "I said disappear longer. Take all the time you need. Take forever if you want." "You're being an hosesian." "Maybe, but I'm done playing this game." "This isn't a game." "Yes, it is. You get upset, you leave, you make me worry and chase after you. You come back feeling powerful. It's been the same cycle for 6 months. I'm done." "Fine. Don't come crying to me when you realize what you lost." He left, slammed the door. I heard his car start, heard him drive away. I sat on the couch for about 10 minutes, just breathing, feeling this weird sense of calm wash over me. Then I got up and started looking around the apartment. Everywhere I looked, there were things I'd bought for him. The expensive espresso machine he'd wanted for his birthday, the designer jacket I'd saved up for, the watch I gave him last Christmas, the bookshelf I'd assembled, filled with books I'd bought him, the art prints on the walls he'd picked out but I'd paid for, the couch we were sitting on when he announced he was leaving. I'd bought that too, when he said our old one wasn't good enough. I pulled out my phone and ordered a dozen moving boxes from a same-day delivery service. The boxes arrived 3 hours later. I spent Wednesday night and all day Thursday packing. The espresso machine went in first, then the jacket, then the watch. Every book, every item of clothing I'd purchased, every decoration, every kitchen gadget. I was methodical about it. I took photos of everything as I packed it, documented it all. By Thursday evening, I had 12 boxes stacked in the living room. I'd also gone through our shared photo albums and cloud storage, downloading every receipt I could find for purchases I'd made for him. 2.5 years of receipts. It was staggering when I added it all up, just over $32,000 worth of gifts. I wasn't trying to get the money back. I just wanted him to understand exactly what he was walking away from. Not the monetary value, but the thought, the effort. The times I'd saved up or gone without something I wanted, so I could get him something he'd mentioned once in passing. Friday morning, I called a shipping company, had them come pick up all 12 boxes, and paid for expedited delivery to his parents' house across the state. I got tracking numbers for everything. My phone had been silent since he left. No calls, no texts, nothing. Exactly what he'd wanted. I'd honored his request for space, just permanently. Friday evening, I was sitting in the now much emptier apartment when my phone buzzed. Message from him. Did you miss me? I looked at that message for a long time. Thought about all the times before when he'd sent something similar after one of his disappearing acts. All the times I'd responded with relief and apologies and promises to do better. I opened my phone, pulled up the tracking numbers, and sent them all to him in one long message. These are tracking numbers for 12 boxes I shipped to your parents' house. Everything I ever bought you is in those boxes. You said I don't deserve access to you. I agree. Consider this my official withdrawal of that access. Permanently. I hit send and put my phone face down on the coffee table. It buzzed immediately. Then again. Then it started ringing. I ignored it, let it go to voicemail. It rang 4 more times over the next 10 minutes. Then the text started coming. What the bangum? You shipped my stuff to my parents' house? Are you serious right now? This is insane. Call me back. We need to talk about this. I didn't respond. I just sat there feeling surprisingly calm. Then another notification came through. Not from him, from the shipping company. First package delivered to recipient. I sent him that screenshot too. First box just arrived. 11 more to go. Have a nice life. My phone rang again. This time it was his mom calling. I answered. Hello? What on earth is going on? She asked. He just called me crying, saying you've broken up and you're sending boxes of his things here. We did break up, and those aren't his things, I said calmly. They're things I bought for him that he won't need anymore since we're not together. This seems very hostile, Megan. He told me I don't deserve access to him and disappeared for 3 days without contact. I'm just respecting his wishes. He does this sometimes. He needs space to process. You know this. I do know this, I said, and I'm done with it. He can process all the space he wants now, permanently. You're throwing away 2.5 years over a fight. I'm not throwing it away. He is. He's been throwing it away slowly for months. I'm just acknowledging it. She sighed. He loves you. He's just complicated. Complicated is one word for it. Manipulative is another. That's not fair. Isn't it? How many times has he done this? Picked a fight over nothing, announced he's leaving, disappeared for days, then come back expecting everything to be fine? Silence. That's what I thought, I said. Thanks for accepting the packages. Take care. I hung up. Saturday morning, I woke up to 37 text messages and 12 missed calls, all from him. I scrolled through the texts without opening them so he wouldn't see I'd read them. They ranged from angry to pleading to trying to gaslight me into thinking I'd overreacted. I deleted them all and blocked his number. Then I started the process of separating our lives. I changed all my passwords, removed his access from my streaming accounts, called the landlord about breaking the lease. We'd both signed, but I explained the situation, and he was surprisingly understanding. He said he'd let me out of it if I paid 1 month's penalty. Worth it. I called my bank and removed him as an authorized user on my credit card. He'd never abused it, but I wasn't taking chances. I went through every shared account and subscription and either removed him or canceled it entirely. By Saturday afternoon, I'd essentially erased him from my life digitally. All that was left was the physical space we'd shared. My friend came over to help me rearrange furniture, fill in the gaps left by all the things I'd shipped away. We went to a furniture store, and I bought things that were actually my style instead of his. A comfortable chair instead of the decorative one he'd insisted on. A simple bookshelf instead of the ornate one he'd picked. A coffee table I actually liked. How you feeling? My friend asked while we assembled the bookshelf. Honestly, free. Yeah. I didn't realize how much energy I was putting into managing his emotions until I stopped. He always seemed kind of high maintenance. That's putting it mildly, I said. Everything was a test. Everything was about whether I'd chase him, prove my love, prioritize him above everything else. That's exhausting. It really was. We finished the furniture and ordered pizza, sitting in my newish apartment that finally felt like mine again. My phone buzzed, an email from him since I'd blocked his number. Subject, we need to talk. I deleted it without reading. Sunday morning, his best friend called me. Hey, so he's really upset. Okay, that's all you have to say? What do you want me to say? He told me I don't deserve access to him and left. I agreed and moved on. He didn't mean it like that. He was just upset. He said it 6 times in the last 6 months. At what point do I take him at his word? He loves you. He loves having someone he can control. That's not the same thing. You're being really cold about this. Am I? Or am I just done being warm to someone who uses my affection as a weapon? She didn't have a response to that. Look, I continued, I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm just done being hurt by him. He can tell people whatever version of this story makes him feel better. I don't care. I'm out. He wants to come pick up his actual stuff from the apartment. The only stuff left here is things he bought himself. I'll box it up and leave it with the building manager. He can get it without seeing me. That's really what you want? That's really what I want. I spent Sunday boxing up his actual belongings, clothes he'd bought, toiletries, a few books, some personal items. 3 boxes total. I left them with the building manager Monday morning with instructions that he could pick them up any time. He picked them up Monday afternoon while I was at work. The manager texted me to confirm. That evening, another email. Subject, this is cruel. I can't believe you're doing this after everything we've been through, after everything I've done for you. You're throwing away our entire relationship because I needed a few days to myself. That's not love. That's not partnership. You're being vindictive and cruel, and I hope you regret this. I read it twice. Then I replied, you're right, it's not love. Love doesn't manipulate. Love doesn't disappear to punish. Love doesn't use access as a reward and withdrawal as punishment. Whatever we had, it wasn't love. It was you conditioning me to accept less than I deserved in exchange for breadcrumbs of your attention. I'm done. Don't contact me again. I blocked his email address too. 2 weeks passed. Quiet. Peaceful. I went to work, came home, did things I enjoyed, saw friends without guilt, made plans without asking permission. My apartment felt bigger without his energy taking up space. I did think about him sometimes, not in a missing him way, more in a processing what happened way, trying to understand how I'd let it go on so long, how I'd normalized behavior that was clearly toxic. A mutual friend reached out and asked if I wanted to get coffee. I said, sure. We met at a place downtown, and she got right to it. He's telling everyone you had a breakdown, she said, that you shipped all his belongings away in a manic episode. Is that true? I shipped away everything I bought for him over 2.5 years, I said. Things I paid for, not his belongings. His actual stuff I boxed up and gave back. Why would you do that? Because he told me I don't deserve access to him, and I realized he was right, so I revoked my access permanently. That seems extreme, doesn't it? He disappeared 6 times in 6 months. Every time it was a power play. Every time I was supposed to beg him to come back. I got tired of the game. He says he loves you. He loves control. If he loved me, he wouldn't have used abandonment as a punishment every time he didn't get his way. She sipped her coffee. For what it's worth, a few of us noticed the pattern. We just didn't think it was our place to say anything. I appreciate that, I said. Are you okay? Honestly, I'm better than I've been in months. Maybe years. Good, you deserve better. I went home that evening feeling validated. It helped knowing I wasn't crazy, that other people had seen what I'd seen. 3 weeks after the breakup, I matched with someone on a dating app. We talked for a few days, then met for coffee. He was kind, easy to talk to, didn't play games. On our second date, he asked if I was seeing anyone else. No, I said. I just got out of a long relationship. How long ago? 3 weeks. That's recent. Are you over it? Completely. The relationship ended a long time ago. The breakup just made it official. He smiled. I get that. We kept seeing each other. Nothing serious yet, just casual dating, but it was nice. It felt normal. It felt healthy. A month after the breakup, my ex's mom called again. I'd forgotten to block her number. I'm not trying to stir anything up, she said. I just wanted to let you know he's struggling. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? I don't wish him harm. I just don't want him in my life. He went through the boxes. He understands now what you did, why you did it. Good. He wants to apologize. I don't need an apology. I need distance. He's changed. He's been in therapy, working on himself. I'm glad he's getting help, but that doesn't change anything between us. We're done. Can I ask you something? Sure. Did you ever actually love him? I thought about that. I loved who I thought he was. I loved the potential of what we could have been. But did I love the reality of who he is? Not by the end. That's fair, she said quietly. I guess I just hoped you could give him another chance. He had chances. 6 times I let him come back after pulling the same stunt. That's 6 chances. I'm not giving a 7th. I understand. Take care of yourself. You too. I hung up and finally blocked her number. It's been 3 months now. Life's good. Really good. The man I've been seeing, and I decided to be exclusive. He's the opposite of my ex in every way that matters. He communicates openly. He doesn't play games. He treats me like a partner, not a subject to be controlled. I heard through mutual friends that my ex is dating someone new. Good for him. I hope he treats her better than he treated me, though I doubt it. People don't usually change patterns that deep without serious work. The apartment lease ended, and I moved to a new place across town. 1 bedroom, smaller, but completely mine. No ghosts of past relationships, no memories of fights or manipulation, just a clean slate. I ran into my ex once at a grocery store. He saw me, froze, looked like he wanted to say something. I nodded politely and kept walking. Not out of anger, just out of complete and total indifference. That's the thing nobody tells you about toxic relationships. It's not the love you have to get over, it's the relief when it finally ends. The weight that lifts, the space that opens up for better things. My ex wanted me to chase him, to prove my love through desperation. Instead, I proved my self-respect by walking away. Those 12 boxes I shipped? Best $32,000 lesson I ever paid for. Because now I know exactly what I won't tolerate, what I deserve. What love actually looks like when it's real and healthy and not weaponized. He said I didn't deserve access to him. He was right. I deserved access to someone better. Someone who doesn't disappear to teach lessons. Someone who stays, communicates, and builds instead of destroys. I'm grateful he showed me who he was.